Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about chain of markets. You know, market is a place where selling and purchasing is taking place. It's a chain, means it is interconnected. From the person or the company which produces to the consumer who gets it. Consumer means a person who purchases the materials produced in a factory or in a farm or in homes. Some people may be making some food items in the home and they may be selling in the market. Bakery items you make it, so it can be produced in the home. Some may produce bakery items in the bakery factory. There may be bakery will be there, big factory. There may be small home will be there. So from where it is produced to the person who purchases it. Usually we don't buy directly from the factory or from the farm. Think you wanted 2 kilograms of tomato. You go to a farmer who has produced 100 kilograms of tomato and you ask for 2 kilograms. The farmer would be unhappy of it, because to sell or pack 2 kilograms, he has to spend a lot of time for it. He is not accustomed with that kind of behavior. So he will say, sorry, I don't sell it in 1 kilogram or 2 kilograms. Less than 10 or 20, there is no business. So you may not be able to get the things. He may give you free, but he may not give you for the price that he is expected to sell. So like that, if you want a mug, you cannot go to a mug factory which produces thousands of mugs and ask for one mug. So that kind of activities are. So there is a middleman. The persons, they are called middlemen who sell the material to other places. The middlemen between the producer and the consumer are the traders. The traders are the middlemen. They are the people who we call middlemen. They purchase the material from the producer. You want a pen? The pen factory gives the material to the trader. The trader gives to the consumer. The consumer is the person who pays the money and uses it. There is a difference between producer and the trader and consumer. Consumer pays money and uses the material and he purchases it for him. The trader will pay money to the factory, but he is not using the material. It is not for him. He purchased the material. So the wholesale traders buys the goods in large quantities, thousands or hundreds kilograms. He may purchase it. He go to car showroom. Car showroom fellow purchases the cars from the company. So company gives 10 or 20 or 100 cars to the showroom. The showroom fellow distributes the car to one individual. We are not going to purchase 100 or 200 cars. We may go and purchase one car at a time. So the vegetable wholesale trader will not buy a few kilograms of vegetables, but will buy a large lots of 25 to 1000 kilograms. This is a person called the trader, is called the middleman. And these traders, there are different levels of traders are there. We call them wholesaler, trader and retailer. So in Vijayapur city, you think an wholesaler brings 1,000 kilograms of vegetables of tomato, you think. There will be a vegetable hawkers or vendors, they will go to him and they may take 10 kilograms each. And this vegetable vendor who sits on the road, we may go to him and take half a kilogram vegetable or 1 kilogram of tomato. So minimum there are 2 persons in the middle. So if the farmer is selling the tomato for 10 kilogram, 10 rupees per kilogram, we may get it for 20 rupees. The middleman takes the service charge, we call it, or the profit for his activities. He has already paid the money to the farmer, so he has to get the money, the wholesaler. And the retailer, the person who is giving the material to us, that person is called a retailer. That retailer has paid the money to the wholesaler to get the materials for him, and he sells it. Normal profit according to the accepted procedure is 20% for the retailer and 10% for the wholesaler. You may ask why? Why 10 and 20? Because retailer will not be able to sell larger scale. He will be able to sell less number. So he gets. Now you think one instrument box. So in the city there are 25 retailers. There is only one wholesaler. So that one wholesaler gives instrument box to 25. You think he gives 10 each. So he gets, I think one instrument box costs 100 rupees. So if he gives 10 each to 25 wholesalers, retailers, 250 instrument boxes he has given, and 100 each, he will get 2,500 rupees. Okay, profit. Because if 100 rupees, he has sold the material for 2,500 per instrument box. If 100 instrument box, 100 rupees per instrument box, 25,000 rupees he has sold, but he will get 2,500. Now the retailer sells it. He has got it for 100 rupees. He has to sell it 80 rupees he has got. He has to sell it for 100. He will get 20%. So when he sells it, he will not be able to sell in a day 10 or 20. He may be able to sell 2 or 3 out of 10 he has purchased. 2 or 3 he will be getting from the people only 60 rupees or 70 rupees. If he sells completely, he will get only 200 rupees. But the retailer has got 2,500 rupees. That is the reason. It is retailer gets 10% and wholesaler gets retailer gets 20% and wholesaler gets 10%. In all activities, usually this is a custom, but sometimes they can vary. It depends upon the trading company. So they get profit. This will be then sold to other traders. The traders will be selling it in the market, weekly market or anywhere. The persons who are purchasing from the retailer, he may have his own shop. He may sell it in going to house, whatever it is. So that is the procedure, the way the materials are coming to the markets. We get it. There are persons who are in the middle, they get their commission, their share for it. So on every instrument box, you think you might have seen MRP is written. MRP means maximum retail price. This maximum retail price includes the tax that should be paid to the government. You might have seen in instrument box, it is written there. It is the tax, including tax. So the tax should be paid, the workers should be paid in the company, the retailer should get his profit, wholesaler should get his profit. After calculating all these things, only the MRP is fixed there. If MRP is put 100 rupees, So the retailer has to get 80 rupees. Get the material 80 rupees from the wholesaler. Wholesaler gets from the company for 70 rupees. Then only he can sell it for 80 rupees. He sells it to retailer for 80 rupees. He has purchased from the company for 70 rupees. And company has taken 70 rupees including the tax. It is written, this is the material of the to be sold for 100 rupees. So including the tax, he writes everything including tax he pays, gives to the wholesaler. Wholesaler gives to the retailer. Retailer gives to us. We are paying the tax also in that. Everything is included. The company puts the MRP after calculating the expenditure, the salary for the workers, the electricity payment, the raw materials for making an instrument box. He has to get a metal, he has to get wood for that. Then for the investment of the factory, he has spent the money. He needs profit for that. He has to repay the loan he has to take in. For all, he should have his own money. For calculating all those things, he puts the price of a material on it. So that we call it MRP, maximum retail price. So the wholesaler gives the material after taking his percentage. That is a 10%. He gives for 80% of the MRP. The retailer has to pay only 80% of the MRP. If 100 rupees written, the retailer pays to the wholesaler only 80 rupees. If he sells, he gets 100 rupees. If he doesn't sell, he will not get any rupees. He will lose them. So all those things are. So that is a selling of material. Now we know markets are everywhere. It's not a market there is only in one place. We have markets everywhere. It is not in a specific area. It can be anywhere, particular manner or time. Nowadays you can go to Google, click on Tata Click, you will get materials from Tata. You can click on Amazon, you will get materials from Amazon. You will get, so there are so many like that companies are there which are providing the materials to us. So they are online businesses. So online you can get the materials. There also there are middlemen, the person who sells it. That you must understand. You can place orders of variety of things through the phone and these days through internet, and the goods are delivered at your home. Now when the corona situation was there, you might have experienced that. You might have ordered the things or materials might have come to your home. Otherwise also you know it. All ordering the things and we get the things. So that's also market business. So buying and selling takes place in different ways, not necessarily through shops alone. Anywhere, any way it can take place. Buying. Markets, there are foreign markets. See, we have got we say local market, then district market, any state market. There is no state market like that. There is no district market also. There is no national market, nothing else is there. We have got a Sabji Mandi in Delhi, one of the biggest vegetable markets in Asia. Sabji Mandi is there. So they are from UP, from Haryana, from Punjab, from Rajasthan. Vegetables come to Delhi in Sabji Mandi and they sell. So one of the big market it is. So it's a wholesale is a main activity. Retailers are very less in that because there is no space. So that's Sabji Mandi. So markets can be anywhere. So there is a vegetable markets, Sabji Mandi and all this. Now there are materials which we don't use directly. There are markets like that also. You purchase a car, you get a car, but there are so many materials purchased and sold for making car. Can you number how many people might have worked for making a car? It's very difficult. It's not possible even, we can say. It's not possible because so many people, the persons who are working in the iron ore, they also include. For people who are working in iron ore, they need implements. That implements are made in some other factory or some other place. So it's a chain of work, materials being taken from one place to another place and sold in the markets. So we cannot say which we get a material, very less number of people are included. The wheat that you take, atta, how many people are working behind it? We cannot say. Because atta should be powdered, packed. For packing that, there are so many machines are needed. Machines are made way in many factories. Then atta itself has to be, it's a wheat. Wheat has to be produced in the agricultural field. How many people have worked in the agricultural field? For agricultural field, there are tractors are needed, fertilizers are needed, implements are needed. All those things are made in different areas. To make those fertilizer, how many persons have worked in the factory? Then that should be transported from one place to another. How many people might have worked to make a small material that comes in front of us? We don't usually think about it. So many. We cannot count. That is the thing. Anything it is like that. Anything and everything. So a car factory purchases petrol tanks, axles, wheels, gears, etc. from other factories where they are produced. We may go to a bakery and get the materials. How many materials they use to make a bakery item? Even in your home, you know, mother prepares a sabji, vegetables, a curry needs chili, salt, oil, then masalas. For different kind of masalas, different materials are added. So how many materials are there to prepare a small curry in front of you, a sabji in front of you? You think about it. The persons who are working behind it. So all those things are there, the part of our social life. That is what we must understand. Now let us see some images of some godowns. See, this is an image of a godown where materials are packed, and you can see here it is. It will be brought here, from here it is coming like this, it is being taken like this, it is going. All mechanized. People don't even touch. That is the way the things are being packed and taken. And every packing is done by the machines. Such kind of big godowns and showrooms are available. You can see this person, he is an wholesaler, that is why he sits like that, because usually a retailer will be, people will be frequently coming to him. So he has so much materials left in front of him. He is waiting to sell it. Now you see a wholesaler of bakery item. So he is not selling for 1 kilogram, he is waiting for people to come and take the parcels, packets full. So that kind of. So next we can see next one. You see another one. See how much he is waiting for a watermelon to be sold. He is not going to sell it for one person, 1 kilogram, 1 or 2. That's the wholesale showrooms. You can see another wholesale. Here you see how much kilograms of onion is left. How packing, loading, unloading is going on. That's. You can see textile field, how much wholesale textile field. Thus, we are having all this kind of things, wholesale business, and we are part of it. We get the materials by different persons who work For their work we pay and we get the materials. So they need payment. They get the things by getting their money and selling their product, whatever they produce. That's natural. We get income from other sources. So this is a chain of activity in the human society. If this chain of activity is not there, we are not able to survive. Thank you very much.